Well, well, well. A rare sunny day in Livonia. You can tell by the water symbol next to my vitals that the last time I played, it was pouring rain and it soaked me, which seems to be the case in Livonia. I won't bother telling you guys how much I've played DayZ, like hours-wise, because how I've spent those hours is absolutely ridiculous, so I don't deserve any credit for it. I've really only been playing Livonia for like a couple months, I guess, but I haven't been playing every day or anything, so I don't really know the map that well yet. The only thing I can tell you for sure is it rains here more than it does in Trinaris. I feel like it's raining more often than not raining on this map. So if you've never played Livonia before and you're thinking about giving it a go, be prepared to be wet and cold all the time. At least that's been my experience so far. This is probably a good time to get the housekeeping stuff out of the way. First of all, I'm playing on an official PlayStation server. Obviously, it's Livonia, and you can probably tell from the footage already that it's a first-person only server. So, not that anyone wants to play with me, but you might know if you play like this, there really aren't that many Livonia servers, and there's even fewer first-person only servers. So really, the chances are good if you're playing on one of those servers, better chances than any other way that we might come across each other on the same map. I'm starting in a spawn area, and the first thing I want to do is get across this gigantic river that runs east to west from one side of Livonia to the other. As near as I can tell, there's only a couple bridges that you could take to actually go over the river. So I like to go as far to one side of the river as I can and just swim across it. One thing you want to consider, well, two things, I guess. Firstly, you're a sitting duck when you're swimming, so if anyone spots you and wants to shoot you, you are defenseless while you're swimming around like that. Secondly, you're going to get obviously very wet, which can lead to being very cold. I had considered, building a fire on the other side and giving myself the heat buff. However, I have these multivitamins on me, and the only reason I would build a fire on that side of the river in that situation would be to stay warm, and the only reason I'm trying to stay warm is so I don't get sick. And, having multivitamins and taking those should prevent me from being sick, at least being sick from the cold. So no need to start a fire. I wanted to get on with today's adventures. But of course, as I say that, I'm sitting here wringing out my clothes because they were as soaking wet as they could possibly be. And since I'm always here to help, wringing out your clothes is a really good idea if you're playing through the rain or if you did decide to go for a swim or something. Being soaking wet will not only make you cold, which is what I'm worried about. I'm not trying to get sick out here, but it will also weigh you down and make your clothes heavier. And you can feel it in the controls. At least I'm pretty sure I can. It might be in my head, but I'm pretty sure that I can actually feel myself running around faster and less, making less noise if I'm not soaking wet. God, I don't know if that's actually true or not now that I say it. now that we're like 5 minutes into the video, I'll probably say something really obvious. If you're very bored right now, this is not going to get any more interesting for you. This is chill game reviews. This is pretty much just chill DayZ footage. So if you were looking for like a, pulse pounding, blood pressure raising, player versus player, kill fest, that's not what my channel is about, and I want you to get out of here right away, because otherwise you're gonna leave like a mean comment about how my video is boring, or something like that, and it's just not for you. This is just a day in the life of how I play DayZ. So you're not really going to be too worried about me. I'm worried about me the whole time I'm doing this, because I don't want to die out here and I don't know what's going to happen. But the voiceover is being recorded after the gameplay, so I can assure you guys, there's not going to be a cool war anytime in the next, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but no wars. So just temper your expectations, please. Now, one thing we are going to see plenty of in this footage is hunting. I have the opportunity to kill a lot of deer because I am so obsessed with sticking to the woods and the wilderness. There's deer everywhere. I typically try to keep my vitals as full as possible because you just never really know for sure when your next meal is going to happen or where it's going to come from. And I never really want to be in a situation where I'm assuming, oh, I don't need that food because there will be food coming up further down the road. That sort of thinking is going to lead to your stomach making noises or your mouth making that horrible thirsty noise that the characters make when they're getting dehydrated. So we hunt, and there's deer everywhere. We're about to get really close to a few of them. I'm going to take my silencer off of my assault rifle and put it on my SK. I could probably risk one single shot and be fine, but, why tell anyone else that there's a dude with a gun out here if you don't have to? And then this is just ethics. I have a better shot at the deer on the left, but the deer on the right is the buck. That's the male, so that's the one we want to shoot. Not the best angle, but I hit it in the neck, which I can't prove these things, but I've killed a lot of deer, and I'm pretty sure that shooting it in the neck or the head is going to get you the most meat available to harvest as a resource. Look at all this meat that we're about to get off of this buck. It's like, I feel like that's more than I've seen other people get if they go for center mass like a real hunter would. And okay, I couldn't put the head on the wall, but I don't see a head here anyways. I'm gonna have to make a hard choice. I don't have very much inventory space. I've got this ghillie suit in my backpack, and at this point I'm still trying to hold on to it. Later on, I'm pretty sure I'm going to. You guys might see me drop it. I might have edited that part out if it was happening at a random point in the day. But I take a look at the ghillie suit and I realize it's badly damaged, and I'm probably not going to get in any fights with anybody. So later on, I do just drop it because I want the inventory space But at this point, I'm still like trying to hold on to it just in case, I don't know, I decide to grief somebody. So I make a pretty hard choice and I drop the Longhorn. I love the Longhorn. It's one of my favorite guns in the game. Unfortunately, I don't have a pistol holster for it, and I've got the SK for hunting or shooting anything long range. So I've got a ton of 308 ammo, and I'm hoarding that for when I get a real gun. If I ever am lucky enough to find a good, LAR or something in a heli crash, or kill someone who has one. Don't tell them I said that. I will. I'll have. I don't want to be that guy who has a fully, kitted out gun and doesn't have, he's running around town to town praying to find bullets for it. So anyway, drop the Longhorn so I could grab a couple more pieces of meat. I am the kind of player who will happily give up firearms for things that will actually keep me alive. I'm so used to not fighting. I'm so used to really, walking around with these guns on my back and never really needing them. So it seems like a hard choice. I called it a hard choice, but it's really just, it's a decision that has a negative side to it. But I'm happy to eat and drop a gun that I'm probably never going to use. I like to do this part of it. I think a lot of players probably find this to be a chore, especially if you're trying to play this game and shoot other players with grenade launchers and stuff. Probably hunting deer and starting fires and cooking the deer is not very exciting for you. For me, this is the best part of the game. And I love that this is a game that lets me do this stuff. When you can avoid the crazy parts of DayZ and just play it like a survival game, it's the biggest, most freeing sandbox that there is in a game that I've ever played anyway. And there's no, how do I put it? Other survival games would have a little thing up in the corner that says, gather 6 out of 6, deer meat. And it would be an objective, and there would probably be some stupid, glowing thing over the nearest deer, and it would ping you to that location. And it's I don't know, I love that none of that is happening here. None of that is part of this game. And so someone who would be bored to death by this aspect of it, is playing the same game as me and not engaging with this part of it probably at all. If you wanted to, you could eat just fine for days and days and days. You could live indefinitely and not have to actually kill any deer in this game. But killing deer is part of the game for me. It's a huge part of the game for me. And it's a virtual deer. I obviously wouldn't just go around shooting deer like some kind of serial killer if I was, in real life trying to actually be an ethical hunter. But in a game when all I'm doing is killing ones and zeros and pixels and stuff, I'm gonna kill every deer I see. And I guess that's the same thing as players who are out here trying to kill every other survivor that they see. I guess it's the same principle. And speaking of that, if I seem like I'm, super relaxed while I'm cooking this food, I'm not. This is nerve-wracking. I think all in all, it's probably safer to cook like this out here in the woods on a campfire. And I know I just said I enjoy it, and I do, but the truth is it's not safe. I've been cooking out here like this in a place that I think was even more well hidden by thicker, better trees, and someone seriously just they shot at me, man. I'm definitely not great at knowing the guns just by their sounds, It sounded like the baby AK. And when when someone's got the drop on me, I really don't stick around to find out. I booked it out of there, and luckily they didn't actually ever hit me once, I don't think. But like the only reason they knew I was there was because I was cooking. I've played this game with friends, and when you're running around like this out here in the woods, even if you know someone is there, you can like lose track of them. And I'll be like, dude, where'd you go? Because it's kind of hard to see people. So without a fire, I think someone could like run right past me and not know I was there. And this I thought was interesting. I've been editing out a lot of footage of me running around aimlessly because that's kind of what I do. I've got a destination, but I'm willing to do a little sightseeing on the way. So there's no reason I should have stumbled across this random car in the middle of nowhere. And if you're the owner of this car, you probably think, man, no one's ever gonna find this car out here in the middle of nowhere. Like, there's nothing around here. There's no reason anyone should find it. But, I have to remind myself that I stumble across things like this. And so if someone ever finds one of my improvised shelters or buried stashes or whatever it is, and I think, what are the odds that someone would find it? Well, this stuff happens. We find stuff like this out here in DayZ all the time. Nothing is safe. Nothing is ever perfectly hidden. Just, I guess, a lesson that no matter where you park your car, some jerk like me is gonna think like they're some sort of deer hunter, and they're gonna stumble across it in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere, for no good reason. And, you guys didn't see it, but someone's going to take all the good stuff out of that car, too, when they find it, because that's what I did. There wasn't a whole lot of good stuff in there, honestly, but I took all the interesting stuff, and for me, like leather kits, duct tape, anything that will keep me out here self-sustained in the woods for a little bit longer is just super valuable. And then here we are at a little quarry. We're still north of where I want to wind up at the end of this, but I like to stop here at the quarry along the way. I don't need any loot. The places I'm interested in are more aesthetic than anything else. I like to check these hunting stands for, I'm looking for a blaze. I've got the scope for a blaze, and I've got a bunch of ammo for a blaze. So I check the hunting stands for it. There's either the remnants or the beginnings of a base on the other side of that, on the other side of the hunting stand, but that base is gone because we are playing on the very last night before a server wipe is about to happen. And then this, I just thought was interesting. I'm gonna kill a couple zombies here outside of that deer shack, hunting shack. I don't know what those little buildings are called. I should know what they're called because I go to them all the time looking for loot. But I don't usually see zombies spawn around them. And out here in the middle of the woods, like I heard, a zombie noise, and immediately it was like, why are there zombies out here? So I don't know. I guess I have to watch out maybe in Livonia more than in Chernarus for zombies in the woods. And then, once again, the old routine of wringing out my clothes because it was raining before and, I got soaked. And it will rain again at some point if I play long enough on Livonia. There's another deer. I still have meat on me from the one I killed, so that's kind of the rule. If I'm still carrying meat from the last one, probably don't need to kill the very next one I see. So passed up on that one, but it was there. Easy takings if I had wanted it. gonna check another hunting stand. I'm carrying ammo for a Mosin, and the scope that's on the SK would work on a Mosin. I'd be able to drop the SK like outright if I found either a Blaze or a Mosin. But so far, just nothing, man. I check the summer camps. I check all the places where I think I might be able to find a Blaze. Anyway, I know that randomly, you can get lucky and find Mosins just in regular houses. I'm pretty sure. And I don't loot houses. I don't go to the towns. So I'm probably passing up on house Mosins. But I would have thought that I'd have a Blaze by now. It's killing me. And can we appreciate these Livonia views? In Chernarus, as crazy as it seems, with like how spread out everything is and how big that map is and how there's nothing in it, these views of these rolling hills, the far vistas in the distance, in Chernarus they'd be interrupted by towns and structures and in some cases, really tall buildings and stuff. In Livonia, it's just this open wilderness. There is stuff out there, but small standing structures, a couple houses, a couple shacks, and to the naked eye from a distance, it looks like a vast, unending wilderness, and to me that's just so beautiful. And here, this is probably my favorite place in Livonia. One of my destinations every time I've played through it anyway. And it's just a lake house. I picture it as like someone's old vacation house or something. If there was a narrative to this game and this is the apocalypse, then someone used to come here and this was their vacation home. And maybe they were trying to get here. If I owned this place and there was an apocalypse happening, I would do my best to, get to my secluded summer home and have that as some sort of safe haven. It wouldn't have worked, obviously, because I'm here and I have a couple guns on me. But, I like to think that that's how it would have gone. And then that's why that house is here. And for me, this is just, it's the most beautiful place on the map so far that I've seen. I definitely haven't been everywhere, and I haven't even been everywhere in Chernarus as much as I've played Chernarus. I'm not naive enough to think that I've actually been everywhere on that map, and I definitely haven't been everywhere in Livonia. But so far, I haven't found a better place than this. It's super chill, super tranquil. There's nothing to loot here. No one should come here. But if you do come here, you've got water in the lake. You can get food out of the lake, and you can make this place seem as welcoming and as whatever its original intended purpose was as a summer home. It still has that vibe, even in the apocalypse. So. I'm a really big fan. We'll hang out here for just a minute and appreciate this view. And now I did change my mind, and we are going to kill a second deer. I still don't really need the food that badly. And it's funny because the reason I'm about to shoot this deer is for food, but not the food from the deer. What I really want is bones, so that I can craft fishing hooks and live, out of that lake. And the problem with that is, I gotta kill the deer to get the bones, to get the fish meat, and I'm gonna harvest meat off of this deer, so I'm not gonna actually need the bones for the fish hooks for a while, but I'm sorry, if you know a better way to get bones out here in the middle of nowhere, I am all ears, because killing the deer seems like the best way to do it. So yeah, it seems like a gratuitous kill, but I already admitted that, I like to kill pretty much every deer I see. I might have said I want to kill every deer I see, and that's excessive. We already let one go on this run, but I need those bones, man, because if I am going to hang out here at that lake, or there's a military base not too far from here that is also interesting to me, then I can't be worried about starving to death. I need to be able to count on, pulling fish out of that lake, and can't do it without hooks. An excuse to enjoy the chill vibes out here. We're gonna start the fire. We're gonna cook right here on the lakefront, and we're out here sort of secluded. I mean, the map isn't that big, and because there's not that many first-person Livonia maps, the players who want to play like that are kind of funneled into just a small amount of servers, and so there's tends to be a lot of us on however many servers we have to choose from. So I never really feel like I'm as alone here in Livonia as I did on the Chernarus maps that I chose, the Chernarus servers, I should say. I'm nervous out here in the open like this. Like, anyone could come from any direction and see me. So I'm gonna look around while we cook and make sure that nobody sneaks up on us. But two things about that. One is it's worth it because of this view, and if I lived here in an apocalypse or not, I think I would want to enjoy the view like this and cook my food by it. But also it's kind of funny because I don't know if there was someone over there in those trees, I don't think I'm going to see them. So me looking around like a paranoid person is probably not saving my life, but it makes me feel a little bit better, I guess. So yeah, that pretty much brings us to the end of this video. It might seem anticlimactic if you're used to watching like the Running Man's or an actual DayZ video person. For me, this is just I was just trying to make like a little slice of life. A few people had recommended in the comments of some of my other videos that they'd like to see something like this, like just I don't know how you would describe it, and I'm really not sure what I'm supposed to call this video, but like, outdoor wilderness survival-y kind of stuff. And I expressed my doubt because I'm worried that this is the most boring DayZ video that's ever been uploaded to YouTube. But they seem, a few of you guys seemed to express a lot of encouragement that this is something you would watch. At least like one person said it, and like 6 people liked it. So I'm really hoping this video at least gets 7 views, because like it seems like 7 people were interested in this sort of content. There's plenty more where it came from if this is something that you guys like. It's actually kind of fun to make because this is just how I play. This wasn't, some of the other DayZ videos, actually I think all the other DayZ videos that I made, I sat down with the intention of making a video. So I had content that I wanted to capture, and playing this game according to your own plan is very difficult. Things kept happening that were just totally interfering with what I wanted to make a video about, including I think it was my other wilderness survival video, the wilderness survival guide. It's raining in that footage because I swear to God, like I was playing for like 3 weekends straight trying to get hunting footage, and I got 2 deer in broad daylight today in this footage, but in those days when I was trying to get footage, it was raining constantly, and that was Chernarus. It felt like Livonia with how much it was raining, but that was Chernarus. So anyway, this type of video I can actually, make constantly because as long as I remember to record what I'm doing, while I'm playing, this is just how I spend my time in the game. I will probably do this indefinitely until they don't let me play DayZ anymore, because this cycle never gets old for me. At least it hasn't in a longer amount of time than I've ever dedicated to any other video game. And it's not always, it's not always about deer. I will say that sometimes wolves will attack me out here, especially the more meat that I carry. I think it attracts the wolves, so that's a risk. Also, Livonia is like bear country, man. I played Chernarus the same way that I play Livonia, in the sense of like avoiding towns and hanging out in the trees. And I think in literally hundreds of hours, I've seen like 2 bears in Chernarus, and in a fraction of that amount of time in Livonia, I've seen, I don't want to exaggerate, like 5 bears, 6 bears, something like that. So many bears that like I'm pretty sure I have finally learned the noise that they make, because in Chernarus, when I didn't have bears to worry about, I thought that every single noise that I heard was a bear, but now that I've actually been hearing them, I think I figured out the bear noise. One bear knocked me uncon one time, but I got the rest of the bears. So far, chill game reviews, 5 or 6, bears 0. Although you might want to, the bear that unconned me, I woke up and crawled away. I was intimidated. So that bear probably won. So if that was, let's say, 6 bears, I'm 5-1 against the bears. Not bad. Aaron Rodgers would probably be proud of that winning percentage. And with that, I think this is probably a good place to end the video. I didn't bother telling you guys when we started the video, but this was my destination. I wanted to get to this summer house, lake house by the lake, and hang out here and cook some deer meat and enjoy the chill vibes. And that's exactly what we got here to do. So yeah, I would say there was arguably never anything to see here, but there's nothing to see here anymore. As always, thank you so much for watching. I don't usually say stuff like this because I really don't care that much, like, as far as like my channel popularity goes, but in this case, because I don't know if anyone's gonna like this video and if I should keep making like long form videos like this of my boring gameplay, if you guys like this, please like say something in the comments or press the like button just for this one, because I don't know if I'm not gonna really be able to tell if this is enjoyable for you guys or not. And, also, congratulations, you made it through the fake out of the black screen, because I did hear another deer, and I don't know, man, I guess I just thought it would be cool for this video if I killed one more deer, or at least proved that I could have killed one more deer if I wanted to. So, we're gonna sneak up on it. And at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm alone. Like, I just cooked all that deer meat and all that fat out in the open by a lake with no cover, and nobody came to kill me. So I was pretty sure that I was alone, took the silencer off of my gun, and I was doing the thing where I wanted to take the ethical shot at the buck on the right. So I held off shooting, tried to get a better angle, but none of these shots are mine. So, just when you think you're alone out here, and it's safe to kill like a third deer in peace, just remember that you're not alone, it's never safe, and you're probably gonna end up running for your life. As always, thank you so much for watching, and stay safe out there, everyone.